I'm going to Magpies. I just believe they have been in fairly good form, just haven't finished in Essendon. Pretty disappointing last week.
Bombers by a few goals, Pete.
Half rain suits the Pies. I reckon Pies by 17.
Pendlebury starting at 4-4, which is a surprise to me.
Prediction from you guys, Dwayne?
I think Collingwood might get up, but also because I'm fearful of what if they don't.
Bombers for me.
We're underway. Stunning ceremony and a stunning sight here at the MCG. An absolute full house, and we're up and running. 90,000 plus. Anzac Day 2017. Great to have your company. Howe's got it at half back for Collingwood. Flicks it up. Gets it up just in time. They go forward, Collingwood towards Elliott, couldn't trap it. Ball came to the back of the pack. Elliott's got it now. Takes off. About to send the Magpies inside 50. High bomb. Big fist from Hurley. Dumped it straight back down. Wells, first touch. Free kick, so it won't count. It'll come back. It's a Bombers ball inside defensive 50. Opening quarter brought to us by Chemist Warehouse, and what a treat it is with the rain falling here at the MCG to have two of the great Anzac Day performers of all time, Tony Shaw and Matthew Lord, with us on 3RW Football.
Just on the Pies forward woes, Pendlebury has started in the forward line today.
And it was the first game of McNeese with the free kick. He went lateral to Merritt, went long down the line. It's socket out the back to Watson. Rain getting heavier just as the game started. Cute little kick round the corner from the former captain to Hooker, who pops it over the top. And McDonald tipping Woody's got it. 40 out. Tough angle. The body language suggests that he wants to centre it. Now being urged to go back and have a shot on about a 60 to 70 degree angle.
Well, I'll tell you what, teammates up the ground, you should not have led to him if you've got space like he has. That's shocking defence from the Collingwood Football Club.
Little hole behind the man on the mark in shade, and Danaher just drifted into it and gleefully accepted the pass on his chest. Tough angle for the left footer.
Right, he'll go right foot snap. It's something he's been practicing. This could go horribly wrong. Let's see what he does here, because it looks bad if he misses these ones.
He's only 20 metres out. Left foot, forward pocket, punt, road end. It didn't look bad. It looked very, very good, Lloydie. And the Bombers strike first. Joe Danaher with a right foot snap. Essendon 1 straight 6. Collingwood yet to score. That's on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard as we tick past 2 minutes of the opening term.
Well, what I was going to say, they were all manned up for about 30 seconds when Chip and Woody marked that ball. And when you call for it, the only thing that's going to happen is you get it intercepted. But somehow behind the man on the mark, there is a straight line towards goal, which was free with no Collingwood midfielder filling in. And Joe Danaher, Joe Danaher's been picked up by Henry Shade in that movement from full-back to the forward line. He lost him by about 30 metres. So Cale Hooker's been picked up by Ben Reid. Horrible defence by the Pies.
Rain continues to tumble here at the MCG. Grundy almost got a clearance, but he was caught by Watson. Still in the middle. Treloar outside of the boot. Gets a roller towards half forward. Elliott there knocked away from him in the congestion. There's 15, 20 players around it. Sidebottom had it, but he was tackled. He was stripped. Wells had it, but then he dropped it, thinking about what he was going to do with it. He was jumped on. Sure, he thought he should have got one for too high. Still in the congestion. Getting a touch, McNeese. He'd be pretty happy to get that one away. Couldn't get it decisively to a teammate, but at least the little guy's throwing his body in there. It comes out in the end to Adams. His kick almost touched it. Is touched off the boot, and it'll be a ball in forward pocket for the Magpies. Essendon 1 straight. Collingwood yet to score. 3 minutes down.
Paddy Ambrose got the job on Darcy Moore today. Ben Reid has gone to Hooker, and Shade, as Shorey said, has gone to Joe Danaher. We've got a blood rule here. Joe Watson coming off the ground.
Yeah, we'll get down to Doc Larkins on the boundary. Job's about 30 metres away from you.
Just jogging over to the bench at the moment, so trainers will come out to him. The interchange will take place pretty quickly as we'll see Parrish come on, so doctors are pretty keen and always pretty swift at getting these sorted out for Watson.
Travis Varco, boys, is playing as a small defender today, so they're trying to get some run out of someone across halfback.
This looks like a slight cut on the bridge of the nose for the ex-skipper. Now the ball spinning back into play. 0-0 draw between Leuenberger and Grundy. Goddard dispossessed by Moore. A little bit of aerial ping-pong for Solos in there, scrapping away. He's got the footy. Gang tackled by a couple of Bombers. One was Goddard. They try and keep it alive. Collingwood. It's now outside their forward 50. Shade's got it. Handball to Maynard. He's got a big left boot. Instead he tries to caress it towards a teammate inside bottom. Thumped away into the path of Mitch Brown. Little underground handball. Bagley just hacks it out of the area. It wobbles and spins towards right half back. Hooker is at the back of the pack. He fumbled as well. It's a very greasy football, like a cake of soap. Francis goes in. Clean hands, but then he coughed it up. Eventually got a handball to Danaher. Hacks it down the line. Chance for Fantasia. Miss kick on the left foot, and it'll roll straight to the pass of Jeremy Howe, who also missed kicks, but they should get out of trouble with Farko handballing to Jeremy Howe.
Yeah, the big downpour about 5 minutes ago has made it really, really slippery out there, and Hurley gets there first to take the mark. Half forward flank for the Bombers, looks inside. Goddard pleading for it. He'd normally get that kick. He goes to Dyson Heppel instead. 60 from goal. Short pass just inside 50, and Francis. Big moment this. Danaher's already given them their first. Aaron Francis, there were pretty big raps on him. Played a few games and showed some signs, but this is his first game for this season. Lordy, does he kick it from here?
He's a thumping kick. Dwayne, I can't speak of his accuracy, but he's a very, very big kick.
Game 4 for Aaron Francis. 1 goal so far. Silence here from the 90,000 plus of the MCG. Strikes it well. Strikes it beautifully. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. And don't forget, you can spoil Mum this Mother's Day with the new Delta by Delta Goodrum. 100 mils, just $49.99. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. Essendon 2 straight. Collingwood already on the ropes, no score.
Well, they played the conditions really poorly, Essendon, 2 weeks ago, so they would have learned a lot from that Carlton game. And what I've liked so far, 15 kicks, 5 handballs. So they just throw the ball on the boot, gain territory, get it in your front half, and then apply enormous pressure. That's what they've done to Collingwood so far.
And they've taken 7 marks too, Lordy. All of those uncontested. For the Pies to have any chance, they've got to shut out that uncontested marking.
Umpire Margetts throws it in the air. Grundy gets first paw on it, but straight to Parrish. Very clean clearance for the Bombers. Long kick towards full forward. Oh, great mark by Ben Reid. One-hander fending off Hooker. Transfers play to the southern stand wing. Shade's got it, and a beautiful pass as well to Greenwood, who handballs to side bottom. This is a better transition by the Pies, and he hits more lace out. Bang on centre wing. Great southern stand side. It's still a pretty open forward line, so he needs to move it quick. Kicks to about a 2-on-1. Mark almost taken by Fasolo. He recovered best.
Great kick.
Deep kick around the corner. Marked by Jamie Elliott. Open goal, and the Pies have their first. Terrific passage of play by Collingwood from the moment Ben Reid took a one-hander at the punt road end. And Collingwood are on the board. 1 straight 6 to the Bombers. 2 straight 12. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. 7.25 minutes into the opening term. Here's Tony Shaw on 3RW 6PR footy.
Well, magnificent kick by Alex Fasolo, but go back to Moore. Sometimes you get it on the wing, and you know in dry conditions that you don't want to kick it forward because you might be outnumbered 1-on-2 or 2-on-1, sorry. Just go today because it's wet weather. It's going to be hard for anybody to mark the ball. So a 2-on-1's not a massive issue. Keep it in line with the goals, and the swing around like he did just gave him a lot of 1-on-1 contests there.
Back in the middle, ball up. Collingwood in the game now. It was all Essendon for the first 5 minutes. 8 minutes gone, by the way. Fantasia gets back at half forward. Both players looked at each other. Neither really wanted to go hard and get the ball. Pendlebury has been sent onto the ball after starting at full forward. Goes out wide. Goldsack knocks it over on the wing. Comes up to Parrish though. Got a little handball back again. Ambrose sprays it in the end. Couldn't quite find a teammate with it close to the boundary, and side bottom content to take it out. And we'll get a ball in southern stand side.
Mason Cox just come on for his first play in this match, and he's just got to be better at ground level. He's got to compete hard in the air and also apply some defensive pressure, which he wasn't earlier in the season.
It was Jamie Elliott's first league goal in 19 months as well. So welcome back to him. Stanton with the clearance for the Bombers. Danaher the target with Shade into his back. And the umpire says no. We'll get down to Doc Larkins on the boundary.
Yeah, Joe Watson about to come back on. Just had a little nick above the eyebrow, so he's got the Bruce Dool headband on.
Nice.
Flesh-coloured one though, Dwayne.
Another throw in. Leuenberger wins it comfortably, but straight to Crisp. Low searching left foot kick. It clean bowls Cox. Mitch Brown will get back there first. Cox applies the pressure. Brown heads for the boundary line, and the field umpire says that's okay. This time we'll have a throw in about 60 around from the Collingwood goal. Daniel Harford for the Southern Star Group.
Just some early numbers, evening up now. The Magpies, they've got back to only 4 possessions behind, 2 marks behind. They're leading contested possessions by 2, and clearances even as well.
So Grundy flicks it down. Side bottom got the crumb. 60 from goal. Heads to the goal square. Cox is there. Got hands on it. Couldn't mark it. Slippery ball. Dives in. Almost knocked over Kelly. Ball still about 20 metres out from Collingwood's goal. Under siege here. The Bombers. Cox tries to knock it through some legs. Couldn't find his teammate. They all jump on it. Probably keeping it in the order of the day. But Heppel kicks it out. Gets it outside 50. And Hooker was waiting for it. And the Bombers are away.
And they're away by hand. He handballs to Danaher, who went the top off the side of the boot. It was like the old Sun kick, and it was right where they used to do it as well. They keep it alive though through Collier. Eventually he gains possession. They've got a problem now. No, it's a throw. It's a throw, and it'll go against Collier. Essendon fans, I think, thought Fantasia was caught high, but that was after the Collier throw. So Maynard to relieve the pressure for the Pies at right half back.
Joe Danaher, just know the situation of the game. He allowed to drop punt that. He didn't have to go the torpedo there.
Maynard kicks towards Cox, went it at one arm, no mark. Parrish did well. Quick handball to the veteran Kelly. Hammers it back inside forward 50. Howe couldn't take the mark. Still a very greasy football. Danaher will have another go. This is a left foot snap, better effort, but out to the left and a minor score. First miss by either side this afternoon. Essendon 2-1-13. Collingwood 1 straight 6. What does the Yarra Valley Toyota replay say about that earlier Danaher kick, Dwayner?
It says that he should be quite embarrassed about it.
And I think he had a player over the top he could have used then as well. So there's a couple of opportunities missed there by Big Joe.
She'll pass the shade, back pocket for Collingwood. Looks up, not a lot on. Rain has stopped for the time being. Still dark skies though as Goddard drops in, takes the mark. Just the Essendon side of the wing, goes inside. Delightful pass. Stanton hands it up. McGrath hands it up. Watson just off the bench. Had time to steady and have a better crack at a goal than that, although it's almost at his mark on the line by Hooker. On the behind line, that is.
Talked about the conditions, Wayne. We spoke pre-game about the fact there was going to be little rain. That shower that was forecast turned into real heavy rain. But the Bureau is saying now it's very, very clear from here on in.
Good news for the 90,000 plus here. Hooker's about to hook this around. And he hooks it well. Essendon 3-1, Collingwood 1 straight. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard, Matthew Lloyd, Tony Shaw.
3 marks inside 50. Yeah, you wouldn't have thought this would happen on a day like this, but the 3 big boys, Francis, Danaher and Hooker. So we go back to Goldsack, Ben Reid, Shade have all given up 1 goal each in defence. So they've got to get their third man up. That's when Essendon move the ball like they're moving here. When they get one-on-ones, that's a dangerous forward line. But we saw last week in Adelaide, the pressure of Adelaide, Hooker wasn't a factor, Danaher wasn't a factor, and suddenly they look pretty ordinary. So got to see a lift here from the midfield of Collingwood and also some third men up for the Collingwood defence.
The speed of ball in there, 50. They've got space, as you say, Lloydie. 4 scores from 5 entries. Collingwood 1 from 5.
Cox into the ruck now, and he outpoints Leuenberger, but Stanton grabs the footy, immediately tackled by Broomhead. No prior opportunity, says the nude nut umpire Matthew Nichols, and he'll throw it in the air again. Just slightly favouring the end. The Pies kicking this first term. Leuenberger and Cox get into a bit of a hug. Leuenberger palms it down. Parrish grabs it. Dispossessed. McNeese, the first gamer, cleverly paddles it out wide. Zach Merritt almost tripped over his own feet as he tried to soccer it forward. Chance for the bandaged up Watson. Heard the voice behind him of the veteran Kelly. And the handball hits the target as well. Kelly shins one towards centre half forward. Chance there for Collier, worried out of it. Chance for Josh Green. Here's a fresh area. Collier goes again. He's a speedster. Was he grabbed by the leg? Tackle. No, it was a clean tackle, says umpire Nichols, and it will be rewarded. And it'll either be Maynard, there's a bit of push and shove going on now, or Jeremy Howe, it's the latter, who'll take the free kick at centre half back for the Woods.
Yeah, if you catch a guy by the dacks and his dacks drop all the way to his ankle, it's still not legging, is it?
No.
Okay, so that's what he did. Goldsack goes toward Darcy Moore, who started better. Couple of marks, and he plays on to Phillips, about to send the Pies inside. Bang! He's knocked down, but it was fair. Wells, he hasn't quite found the pace yet. Dropped an easy mark, Daniel Wells, and that could be a bad one. Although Collingwood almost get it back again. Cox had a chance. Leuenberger dives in, and we'll get a ball up 49 metres from Collingwood's goal.
Cox and Leuenberger went for the ball there. It was like 2 big trees being cut down in the forest. That's how slow they were to get the ball. Daniel Wells still yet to touch the footy. You're right, Dwayne. He's had 1 VFL game. That's all, and he's struggling to find the pace of this one.
Well, he's touched it 3 times, and they've all been fumbles, so that's why he hasn't actually got a possession yet. Heppel tries to feed a handball through traffic. Merritt got it to the wing. Good attack from Francis, kept it in front. Almost Collier, he was stripped of it. Varco kept it in front. Kelly got a touch. Hot in the kitchen right now, even though it's pretty cold out there, about 10 degrees. Merritt tries to get a handball out, couldn't get it decisively to a teammate. Adams does, gave it to Broomhead. Central ball, and Fasolo takes the mark, about 40 out.
Well, they do it ugly at the moment. If you talk about inside 50s, you could see Essendon have been able to get a fair bit of space behind the pack and made the goals easier. But well done to the Pies then. Good pressure. They're going to have to keep that up the whole game. Hopefully get up to 80 tackles at least in this game.
Now the hard part used to be a dead eye. 8 goals, 10, Dwayne, for the season.
Yeah, you hadn't kicked
that 8 goals, 11, Beef. Nice work by you.
That's bad, that. You know, we talk about it. He has got the yips at the moment. He's been a good goal kicker for the Pies.
So 8-11 for the, what was it last? He kicked 6 straight, virtually won the game single-handedly against the Tigers. That famous comeback victory at the start of 2016. Bad miss from Alex Fasolo. 19 plays 7. The Bombers by 2 goals. James Kelly with the kick in. Elects to favour the member stand side. Huge pack fly, no mark, no surprise. Jeremy Howe at the back. Hammers it back inside forward 50. McNeese accidentally soccers it towards the centre corridor. Collingwood keep it alive through Taylor Adams. Look away, handball to Treloar. Concedes ground by hand. Then to Ramsey. His handball was battered down. Fell to Josh Green. They might be out here. Kicks down the line. Will it stay in play? Hooker gathers it right in front of the interchange gates. Tries to do the little pirouette around Goldsack. Left foot kick. McDonald Tippenwoody was caught by the dreadlocks. He was certainly caught high. And is it a late call?
Yeah, the umpire.
Is it a 50?
The umpire got caught up with the crowd then. He wasn't going to pay that high tackle, and then he played holding the man after it.
Yeah, don't pay it. I mean, if your first instinct is not to pay it, umpire.
He got caught up on that one.
Don't react to the crowd. That's bad. That cost you grand finals. You can't have umpires that are getting sucked by 90,000 screaming fans to pay a free kick. Merritt dumps it inside 50 for the Bombers. Big fists come. Knocked straight past Crisp. Treloar got it. McDonald, Tippenwoody. He's bounced up after trying to play for and milk that free kick that he eventually got. High kick. Goddard floats in. Can't mark it. Dumped towards the boundary. Will get a ball in. 60 from Essendon's goal. And if you've just joined us, 3AW Football Anzac Day from the MCG, and it is a picture. The rain stopped, and there's 90,000 plus fans here, and right now it's a really even contest, even though the Bombers lead by 2 goals.
Yeah, they've made the early whistle from that boundary throw in, and Cox has given away a free kick to Joe Danaher. Man on the mark, stands at 55, the big American. So, Danaher sells the dummy, gets around Cox. Now he's within range from 50, hangs it out to the left though, and out of bounds on the full, much to the delight of the Collingwood fans, but not a bad play by Joe Danaher, it must be said.
I like the way the big American let him play on around him, knowing that he'd miss like that.
Yeah. Part of a cunning plan.
Mason Cox is, I think.
That was very ordinary, that.
Brown goes up. By the way, that's Essendon's Brown. There's a couple of Browns out there who couldn't mark it. Parrish comes up with the crumb about 50 from goal. Couldn't get a handball away. Pack forms around him, ball up.
Got to stay on your feet, Dwayne. You know, the second, you mightn't get it the first contest, but if you stay on your feet, the ball's going to spill out to you. Even if they're trying to hold it in, it will spill out.
Crisp, but gets away with it from half back, kicks it towards the wing, bouncing ball. Grundy might get there first, just inside the boundary, hassled it towards, then he kicked it out of the full. He was just outside the boundary line when he got a toe to it, so it's only going to be a ball in. Although, now they're discussing it. Was he out of play when he kicked it, or was he not?
Is this somewhere where we should go to a quick video review, or holds up the game too much?
That's out in the full. That wasn't over the line totally, I don't think.
So why didn't he play that initially? Somebody overruled him.
They might have got it in the earphones.
Yeah,
I reckon you're right, Shorey.
So they did do a quick video review.
Well done. You got it right, you get it right.
Hurley with the resultant free kick, long down the line. Howe flies high, no mark paid. Hooker handballs it out sideways. Watson's got it now. Handball to his successor in Heppel. Grubs a kick inside forward 50. Grundy composed. Handball to Varco. Handball to Ramsey. Kicks out to the southern stand centre wing. Fasolo leads in the foot race. Bagley right on his hammer. Fasolo tripped over the footy and goes to ground. Bagley will now get there first. Handball's inboard to the number 1 pick wearing number 1 in McGrath. Terrible handball straight to Mitch Brown, who was under the cosh, given the benefit of the doubt. Collingwood force it forward. James Kelly's now clean bowled. He tracks it back towards the boundary. Goes for the boundary line and will be pinged. Umpire Camelons couldn't get in there quick enough. He was charging there like Usain Bolt.
Does he have to do that?
It's very important.
Yeah, it's good.
Run over so excited.
Yeah, it's good, Dwayne.
Make
Come
sure he's
on.
in the camera shot.
It's just a normal free, isn't it? It's not a. There can't be levels of free. One that really gets you excited and one that doesn't.
Broomhead with the shot. He went the right foot snap over the left shoulder. It was always narrow, and a minor score. 1-2-8 the Woods. 3-1-19 the Bombers. That's on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. And we're just about to tick into time onto the first quarter.
Heppel kicking in from fullback to himself. Leuenberger and Reid and Grundy in front. Got hands on it, but went straight through his hands. Shade, back of the pack to Treloar. Back of the pack, gave it up just in time to Adams. He's on the wing now, goes central, almost turns it over. Pendlebury, Goddard, good one-on-one. Both of them miss it. Picked up by Phillips. Gave it over the top to Broomhead. He gave it to Crisp, but he wasn't crisp with his ball handling. He gave it up just in time to Ramsey. His kick is horrendous, almost deliberate out of bounds. He won't pay it.
No, he got tackled.
He did. He was pushed as he kicked it, but he really could have done better to try and keep that in, and that is, if he had a left foot, he would have been able to kick it inside 50, but he didn't have a left, he had a right foot, and he had to kick it in that direction and that direction only.
How great's the crowd, though? How good is it?
And they've both got up gingerly from that, Ramsey and Josh Green. They've jogged back towards half forward for the Bombers, and that's the way the ball's going. It's Stanton.
Speaking of all those people in the crowd, Fury, all those people who complained about the $50 to get in, someone else has found your seat.
Yeah, full house. Stanton to Francis. Hoofs it to centre half forward. Josh Green almost took the mark. Socket off the ground by McDonald, Tip and Woody. And the mark will be taken. It's Fantasia.
Yeah, you don't want him to play on him.
Opportunistic chest mark. Clever thinking by McDonald, Tip and Woody. Fantasia to shoot for a goal directly in front, 30 out.
I reckon the previous play, Collingwood are just handballing far too often, and they've got themselves, that's why they kicked it out of bounds, because they had one too many handballs. Gee, Francis has started well, good hands. Yeah, Essendon have a much better ratio. Collingwood 33 kicks, 25 handballs.
For a lovely little 17-point buffer. Late in the first, Fantasia drives it home. And the Bombers have 4. Collingwood 1-2-8, Essendon 4-1-25. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard as the Ray White clock shows 21 and a half minutes have elapsed in the first term.
Well, even though that was lucky, that's their 4th goal from mark inside 50. They're getting a lot of space to work in. I think the Collingwood defence is too big. You've got Reid, Shade and Goldsack. Now, Joe Danaher's the biggest player in that forward line. Other than that, they've got medium-sized players. Hooker's been off the ground now for about 3 or 4 minutes. They are so small at ground level. It's a real worry for the Pies every time it hits the ground inside 50.
It's getting in there too quickly. So they only had 8 possessions in their forward 50, the Bombers. They've kicked 4 goals.
4 goals, there you go. Too much space.
I'm with you, Shorey. Sometimes teams get picked 3 days before the big buckets of rain come down, and they don't change their lineup. Pendlebury's caught, middle of the pack. Varco got it up to Treloar, looks outside. He went with a handball, but he put it to the feet of Sidebottom. He had to kick it off the deck, picked up by McGrath in the end for the Bombers. Goes out wide to Francis and Goldsack, bouncing ball, southern stand wing, gave it to Ramsey, back to Goldsack. He just evades Green in the tackle, thumps it back to attacking 50 for Collingwood. Mason Cox from 4 deep, Sporty's own man Darcy Moore. McGrath did well again. Hurley's got it, centre half back, little poke pass, and they'll come up with it. Zaharakis had it, but straight through his hands. He flicks it back again. Collingwood getting men around it. Little handball down to Maynard. He got it up just in time for Solo. He looked up and saw Wells, ignored him, then got tackled, had to give it to him. Wells to Treloar, dumped away. McGrath in the spot again. Maynard picks it up for Collingwood.
Maynard handballs to the skipper. Pendlebury almost run down by Watson. Got his kick away to the top of the square, and Fasolo takes the mark.
Push. Played the push.
Oh, push. Hands in the back first. Oh, and he throws it straight back to Michael Hurley. There was serious velocity on that throw back to the player. He's disgusted with the decision. Hurley kicks it quickly and honours the lead of Danaher. What a wonderful kick. And Danaher marks it left half back, turning defence into attack quickly, the Bombers. Short pass to Watson. Watson brings it inboard, and Goddard's got it, marking it around his bootlaces at the true centre half back position. Goddard. He'll retreat now, and they'll reload from Hurley back inside defensive 50.
Heads wide, Brown for Essendon goes wider to Merritt. Just inside the boundary line, short pass to Heppel. Gets there on the half volley, handles it in the end, danced away from Wells, who fell over this time. He's way out of sorts. Short pass Kelly, Danaher juggles it 3 times and takes the mark.
Jeez, he's been dominant. Shade has just been led up to the football far too often. Joey Danaher has now had 6 disposals, and mark number 4 for Danaher in these conditions in the first quarter. And this suits him, this spot, preferred side for a left footer. He can just swing through the football, and his confidence is right up.
I'd put Goldsack on him. Yeah. The height isn't a factor today. What it is his ability to get off shade. Goldsack's super quick off the mark. You can give away inches.
And Wells will get his numbers shortly, but that's apart from the 3 fumbles and the slip. Danaher long misses to the near side. Daniel Harford for Southern Star Group at windowsanddoors.build.
1 kick, 1 handball for Daniel Wells at the moment. He's had a contested possession, but 5 metres gained is saying he's not doing too much with it at the moment.
And Wellsy, because playing half forward's really hard in your first game back, throw him on the half back line and see if he can link up for some easy ones.
Howe kicks to himself, roosts it along to right half back. Chain of handballs through Cox, Grundy, Broomhead, now to Chris. Delicate short pass. Elliott's got it at 53. Open forward line. Is he going to bang it long? He is, but to a 2-on-1. Although the 1 in more, really good effort at marking it. Rising up over Hurley. Couldn't hang on to the cake of soap. Slipped through his hands. And we'll have a throw in the left forward pocket at the City end. 4-2-26 the Bombers, 1-2-8 the Magpies. Tony Shaw on 3RW6PR footy.
Gee, I'm watching Mason Cox, boys. He is labouring to cover the ground at the moment. He's right behind this pack here. You've got Grundy and Cox within 10 metres of each other.
And he's the one, Shore, you mentioned about being too tall in defence. He was the one that I would have thought, well, maybe he's droppable.
Josh
given
Smith
the rain
comes
we
in.
had. Yeah, given the rain we had over the last 24 hours.
4 of the top 5 goal kickers for the Magpies this year are Smalls for Solo, Hoskin, Elliott, Treloar and Sidebottom. The only one that's impacted the scoreboard with 5 goals was Jesse White, who's not playing.
So the clock for Ray White. Ray White, they've got the know-how. 3 minutes left in this opening term. Heppel kicks toward hooker, half forward. Big Jeremy Howe goes the fist, which he really does. Knocked it down to Green, though. He gave it up to Francis, playing a good first quarter. Long bomb inside 50. Collier took the mark in the pocket. Bomber fans rise. Will he pass it to Zaharakis? He looks up. He thinks, no, I'm going for goal. And with 2 minutes left in the quarter, not a bad option.
They have to banana this one. It'll be a very tough shot as a drop punt on the wrong side for a right footer.
He's holding for the banana. Check side. And that banana didn't bend. And they're no good, those unbent bananas. 4. Did he score? He did. 4-3, 27 to 1-2-8, 27 gone opening term for Chemist Warehouse.
Hard to kick a wet banana, Dwayno. Ramsey with the kick in, again kicking to himself, running 10, kicking at 50. No mark taken, clearance at ground level to the Bombers. Parrish, handball to Goddard, handball to Hooker, flying snap, it's across the face, and Maynard punches it away from Collier just before he took or attempted to take a carbon copy mark from a moment ago. In fact, punched it into the base of the behind post, so we'll have a throw in right forward pocket at the punt road end with the Bombers 19 points to the good. Late in the first quarter from the restart, Green grabs it. Was he ridden into the ground by Varco? Grabbed by Pendlebury, tackled by Goddard. The ball falls to Grundy. Hammers it back in towards the centre corridor. McNeese, the first gamer. Got a handball away to Hurley. They're retreating. Back to Bagley. Bounces the handball to Kelly. Then another handball back to Bagley. Drop punt out very wide. Lovely kick. And the mark will be taken by Stanton. True centre wing position, Southern stand side.
1.5 minutes left, opening term. He pokes it wide. And launching it is Ambrose, inside 50, over Danaher's head. He backtracks, almost pulled the mark in. He kind of misjudged it, and then late had a chance to pull it in but fumbled it, and we'll get a ball in forward pocket for the Bombers.
It's the first real period we've seen Essendon have any ball in their forward 50 for any period of time. They've been waiting to transition from defensive half and absorb the pressure and then counter-attack. This is the first time we've seen them in this area of the ground for a long period.
Sun's broken through. Ball 50 from the Bombers' goal.
Well, that's on the ball.
And holding the ball, Sidebottom had enough time. According to the umpire, McDonald, Tip and Woody will line up from 50.
I'll tell you what's happening. The Collingwood defenders are really getting sucked up with their players, and that's allowing that space over the back. They've got to get someone to drop off.
He hands it off. Hooker from defence, bangs a long bomb. They didn't really think that through. It was just messing around, training style. Sorry, Shuri, I cut you off for no reason.
No, that's all right. It did go in the general play, but you can see him getting sucked up the ground. All the spaces over the back. Collingwood had just got a drop. I think Grundy now was playing like a loose man in defence just then, trying to get an extra there.
If you didn't have the stats in front of you, you would have thought Essendon's had about 8 more inside 50s. It's even at the moment, but the way they're using the ball is much, much better, and they're getting space inside 50. Collingwood here, they've just got no answers again, going from defence to midfield to forward.
Jeremy Howe, lovely kick to Hoskin Elliott. First time we've called him this afternoon, and it's because it's his first touch. He kicks long down towards centre wing again. No mark taken. Essendon there in numbers at ground level. McGrath paddles it towards McNeice. He flipped it to Heppel. Got it back to McGrath. They're mucking around with it eventually. McGrath just says, I'll deal with this. Kicks it long and hard down the line. Again, no mark taken. Grab there for the Pies by Goldsack. Bounces a handball towards Taylor Adams. A little fumble. Grabbed by Josh Green. Kicks to a 2-on-2 inside forward 50. Grundy with the punch towards the boundary line. And Farko and McDonald, Tippenwoody see it over the line. McDonald, Tippenwoody was trying something spectacular to sock it off the ground with the left boot, but it skids out 20 around from the Essendon goal.
Only 17 seconds left, so time enough for a Bomber score, not for a Collingwood score from here. They'll need to be clever. Heppel, as the clock starts ticking, gives it to Zaharakis. He knocks it out, so there's around 8 seconds left for this ball in. 8 plays 27. Essendon lead. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard approaching quarter time. Back into play. Grundy and Leuenberger. 40 from the Bombers' goal. Parrish got it. Gave it to Zaharakis. They need a mark from this kick. Top of the square. Howe goes up. McDonald, Tim and Woody. Was he held? No free kick. Umpire could have thought about it. Quarter time. MCG full house. Anzac Day. And the Bombers have started brilliantly. 4-3-27. Collingwood 1-2-8. 3RW is footy.
Forward pocket, punt road end. It didn't look bad. It looked very, very good, Lloydie. And the Bombers strike first.
For Aaron Francis, silence here in the 90,000 plus of the MCG. Strikes it well. Strikes it beautifully.
Kicks to about a 2-on-1. Mark almost taken by Fasolo. He recovered best.
Great kick.
Deep kick around the corner. Marked by Jamie Elliott. Open goal. And the Pies have their first.
Danaher juggles it 3 times and takes the mark.
Jeez, he's been dominant.
Terrific passage of play by Collingwood from the moment Ben Reid took a one-hander at the punt road end. Yes, but there wasn't that many magnificent passages of play by the Woods in the opening term. Essendon holds sway at quarter time on Anzac Day. 19 points to the good. 4-3-27 to Collingwood. 1-2-8. It's Collingwood's lowest first quarter score, admittedly from a very small sample so far this year. Their goal kicker Jamie Elliott for the Bombers. Danaher, Francis, Fantasia and Hooker have kicked their goals. To expand on those numbers for the Southern Star Group at windowsanddoors.build is Daniel Harford on 3RW 6PR footy.
It's the midfield brigade of the Bombers doing all the damage. Even when it's in their back half, they're pushing back hard, congesting the space of the Magpies, and they can't get through. And then the transition on rebounds has been enormous, and we've talked about the space in their forward 50. Heppel's had 11, McGrath's had 8, Hurley's had 8, Merritt's had 8, Parrish has had 8, so 3 of those are in their key midfield brigade dominating the footy. On the flip side for the Magpies, it's Howe, Broomhead, Pendlebury have had 7, 7, 6. Adams has had 7 as well, but a lot of those have been in the back half when they're trying to get the ball back out after the Bombers have transitioned. So it's a really funny game. You go through the key numbers, plus 13 uncontested marks for the Bombers. We spoke about that being a key area for them to dominate if they were going to win today. Collingwood are allowing that to happen. Plus 8 contested possessions and plus 5 clearances, with Heppel, Merritt and Parishori having 7 of those 12.
Well, to me, it's all come about in that they're beating them, Collingwood, at the contest. Like, clearances aren't massive. I think it's only plus 5, but they've been a lot cleaner with their hands. They've kept their feet better, and they've been able to run the lines. But there's no doubt the Collingwood defenders have rolled up too much. They're playing like a one-on-one, but Essendon players, even Joey Danaher, who got a couple of lead-ups on the wing and then just swung around and kicked the ball. A lot of space to work with. Conversely, you look back to the Collingwood forward line, and it's so stagnant, so big. I look at Mason Cox and I'm thinking, gee, I'm wondering about how he's going to cover the ground over his whole career, let alone what's happening now, because it's a big test for him. But whether they made a mistake, that's not the problem now. Their midfield's got to get the ball. They've got to get it in as quickly as they can. And it looks like Darcy Moore, boys, is just coming off the ground.
Wasn't watching the board at quarter time, sure.
Well, he mightn't have been, which isn't a great sign when they're going to have one bloke on too many. That, to me, isn't good.